Welcome to another episode of Tiny Talks Big Ideas podcast. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up, look at your calendar, your bills, the endless to-do list, and just think, wait, I'm the grown-up now.
Uh-huh.
How did this happen? It's like we all secretly signed up for adulthood, but the instruction manual, well, it never arrived. We're out here riding a bike with wobbly training wheels, desperately hoping no one notices we're not entirely sure how the brakes work. You know?
Totally get that feeling.
That feeling, that pervasive sense that you're just kind of faking it, that you're somehow not qualified for your own life despite all the adulting you're actually doing, that's what we're going to unpack today. This isn't just about feeling like an imposter in your career. It's deeper. It's feeling like an imposter in your very existence as an adult. So we're diving deep into why this feeling is so incredibly common, why it can feel like a sudden ambush, and ultimately how to navigate this messy, overwhelming, often beautiful reality without losing that vital spark of your inner youth.
It's an experience echoed by so many people. You look in the mirror, maybe you're getting ready for a big meeting or you've just dealt with some complex financial thing, and you see an adult staring back. Maybe a few more lines, a slightly more tired gaze.
Yeah.
This person owns a sensible coat, probably knows how to make coffee that isn't instant, might even understand their 401k statements. But there's still that internal voice whispering, wasn't I just playing video games yesterday? That disconnect. That's really what a lot of contemporary thinking is exploring.
So when you describe this feeling, doing all the adult things, but inside feeling like a bit of a fraud, is there a term for that specific disconnect? I bet a lot of listeners are nodding along right now.
Absolutely. What you're touching upon often shows up as what we're calling the adulting glitch. It's this kind of systemic paradox.
Okay.
There's this big gap between, the often unrealistic societal expectations of being a totally competent adult and the actual reality of navigating these complex, constantly shifting modern challenges without a clear roadmap.
Right, no manual.
Exactly. And it's a bit different from general imposter syndrome. That's usually about feeling unqualified for a role, like your job, whereas the adulting glitch is more about feeling unqualified for life itself as a responsible grown-up. And it's so crucial to get that this isn't some personal failing. It's a widely shared human experience, a collective uncertainty.
And it really does feel like an ambush for so many people, doesn't it? One day you're like in your early 20s figuring stuff out maybe, and the next, boom, you're in your 30s seemingly in charge of so much and still no manual. What does the research say about why this generation feels particularly ambushed?
Well, this generation, especially millennials and Gen Z, they're really facing a unique, perfect storm of challenges. It makes this glitch feel much more intense than maybe for previous generations.
How so?
Well, think about the economic realities. Decades ago, lots of families could buy houses, achieve stability, often on just one income.
Right, you hear those stories.
Today, demographic studies consistently show a huge shift. The average age for financial independence, it's pushed way back. And it's not just soaring housing costs, it's also the student loan debt, wage stagnation.
It all adds up.
It really does. Sociologists are even using terms like the delayed launch syndrome to describe how those traditional milestones, buying a house, getting married early, are either significantly delayed or just completely redefined. The old playbook, it's pretty much obsolete. It leaves a lot of people navigating in a fog.
And it's not just the money squeezes it. It's also the constant, overwhelming digital and societal pressure. We're just bombarded. LinkedIn tells us we should be career superstars. Instagram shows perfect travel, perfect relationships. TikTok suggests we should be mastering every self-care trend out there.
Right.
It's just utterly exhausting trying to excel in every single arena all the time. This always-on culture, fueled by tech, creates this unique kind of digital performance anxiety. The bar for good enough just keeps getting raised by these idealized online versions of life.
Precisely. And this unrelenting pressure, layered on top of the economic stuff, is leading to really unprecedented levels of burnout and stress, and at younger ages too.
Younger ages.
Yeah. Recent workplace psychology reports show a big shift, the whole mid-career burnout thing. It's now showing up as preemptive burnout in younger generations. Research indicates that almost 1 in 4 people reports hitting burnout before they even turn 30. Peak stress levels often hit around 25.
That's incredibly young.
It is. And this intense stress is so pervasive that nearly half of young adults, about 48%, say they struggle to make even simple day-to-day decisions because of it. It truly is a pressure cooker. Makes everything feel monumentally heavy.
It's just an incredible juggling act nobody really prepared us for. You wake up and you're supposed to be an employee climbing the ladder, a partner maintaining a relationship,
Hmm.
maybe a caregiver for aging parents or your own kids, a financial planner trying to save while tackling debt, and a health manager aiming for exercise and mental well-being.
All at once.
All at once. And society expects excellence in all these roles constantly without dropping any balls. It feels like you're juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle, often in the dark.
And that intense experience, well, it makes the temptation for nostalgia incredibly strong.
Oh, the nostalgia trap. Yeah. I deeply get that longing for simpler times. We romanticize school days or university life, right?
Mm,
Where the worries felt simpler. A tough exam. What are we doing Friday night?
right. The stakes felt lower.
Exactly. Our biggest responsibility was mostly just ourselves. It's so easy to crave that lightness, that sense of possibility, without the weight of huge consequences. This desire for the past, it feels like a completely normal human response to just being overwhelmed now.
And while that longing is deeply human, a more nuanced look from psychological studies suggests it can also be a bit of a trap if we're not careful.
How so? A trap.
Well, we tend to romanticize the past, right?
Yep.
We conveniently forget the anxieties we felt back then, too. The stress of fitting in, the uncertainty about the future, confusion about careers.
True. It wasn't all sunshine.
Exactly. Every stage of life has its unique challenges. The key difference now, maybe, is that previous challenges often felt temporary. Now things can feel quite permanent, like a continuous weight.
Mm.
But the crucial insight here, I think, is that real growth often comes precisely from being pushed beyond those comfort zones, from being forced to rise to challenges you don't feel qualified for. That discomfort, that's often the catalyst for finding strength you didn't know you had.
That's a powerful reframing. Okay, so it's discomfort leads to growth. What if this feeling of I'm not ready for adulthood isn't actually a bug in the system?
What if it's a feature? That's the kind of radical thought this deep dive invites you to consider.
A feature.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That feeling of not being ready isn't a sign you're failing at adulthood. It's actually a sign that you're authentically human. The idea of the perfect, totally prepared adult, it's frankly a myth, largely pushed by idealized media.
Right, nobody posts their messy kitchen on Instagram, usually.
Exactly. Nobody truly has it all figured out,
Mhm.
despite what social media might suggest. The courage to keep moving forward when you don't have all the answers, to show up day after day for your job, your family, yourself, even when you feel like an imposter. That very act of showing up is the job. You're already doing it.
I love that. Adulting isn't some fixed state of perfection you arrive at. It's a verb. It's about the ongoing process of doing the things, learning from mistakes, adapting, and recognizing that progress, not perfection, is the real goal. Your training wheels aren't a sign of immaturity. They're proof you're still learning and growing. And isn't that essential for a dynamic life?
And what this reframe really means is that it's profoundly okay to feel unprepared.
Yeah.
It's more than okay to say, you know what, I genuinely don't know how to handle this yet.
Permission to not know.
Exactly. Permission to not know. And seeking help from therapists, financial advisors, mentors, even just trusted friends, that isn't a sign of weakness. It's actually one of the most mature, truly adult moves you can make. It's recognizing your limits and actively seeking the support and wisdom you need to navigate all this complexity. That's strength.
Okay, so if this glitch is maybe a feature, how do we live with it? How do we find that, like, youthful, unburdened spirit when the world demands so much? My first thought is, you got to fiercely protect your inner youngster.
I like that. Protect the inner youngster.
Yeah. Carve out sacred, non-negotiable time for pure joy and play. What genuinely made you light up when you were 15? Go do that.
Like what?
I don't know. Dance badly in your living room. Play a ridiculously fun video game. Get lost in a creative hobby. This isn't wasting time. It's essential system maintenance.
Right. It's a recharge.
Totally. It's how you reboot, recharge, and reconnect with your core self underneath all the responsibilities. Think of it as your pocket of play. You've got to guard it.
Building on that, it's so vital to redefine what success actually looks like for you.
Okay.
It's not about ticking every single societal box perfectly, having the Instagram-ready house or the LinkedIn perfect career arc.
Which feels impossible anyway.
Right. Psychological research increasingly advises shifting our metrics. Success can be about sustainability, finding meaning in what you do, cultivating genuine connection. Or sometimes just getting through the day without yelling.
Huh. Yes. Some days that's a huge win.
Absolutely. Good enough is, in fact, good enough. We're often conditioned to aim for 100%, but honestly, most days, hitting 75% while keeping your well-being intact, that's a monumental achievement. Give yourself permission for that.
That's such a powerful point. And related to that, let's genuinely celebrate the managing, just the act of managing it all.
Yes, acknowledge it.
Look at everything you are juggling right now. You're navigating family, work, finances, relationships. Even if it feels messy and imperfect, acknowledge the immense strength that takes. You are doing harder things than your teenage self ever imagined possible, whether it's just getting everyone fed, maybe microwaving leftover pizza again.
Hey, fed is fed.
Right. Or successfully changing the bed sheets for the first time in weeks. These are valid, courageous, adulting wins. Acknowledging these small victories, maybe even sharing a laugh about them with friends, can make the weight feel a little bit lighter.
And this brings us right to a really profound community solution.
Yeah,
You are fundamentally not alone in this feeling.
that's so important to hear.
It really is.
Yeah.
This sense of being overwhelmed and unprepared is incredibly common. Sociological studies consistently show young adults report higher stress levels than previous generations did at the same age. And a significant number openly talk about experiencing a quarter-life crisis, that doubt and anxiety about career, relationships, finances.
Yeah, that term resonates.
So talking about the glitch, saying it out loud doesn't make you weak. It builds bridges. When you open up and say, wow, adulting felt impossible today, you're not just complaining, you're letting someone else know they aren't alone. You're fostering real connection.
Absolutely. So find your tribe, find your people, seek out others who also feel like they're kind of adulting on training wheels. Laughter and just shared commiseration are incredibly powerful medicine. Sharing the struggles openly helps you navigate the chaos together. And often, you'll find humor or insight in their experiences that makes your own big feelings feel a bit smaller, more manageable.
And just to reinforce that point we made earlier, because it's so key, recognizing when you need support and actually asking for it.
Taking that step.
Taking that step,
Yeah.
whether it's from a therapist, a financial advisor, a mentor, or just a trusted friend, that is one of the most mature, truly adult things you can possibly do.
Yeah.
It's not weakness. It's profound strength and self-awareness.
Yeah.
And it's what allows you to keep showing up.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, remember this. Feeling unprepared for adult life doesn't make you immature. It makes you exquisitely human.
Beautifully put.
The goal isn't to become some mythical, unflappable adult with a capital A, some perfect, polished version of yourself. It's not realistic. The goal is to build a resilient, authentic life where responsibility and joy don't just coexist, but actually support each other. It's about honoring the weight you carry without letting it extinguish your inner light. And showing up with integrity and care, all while fiercely protecting that playful, curious spirit that makes life truly worth living. So keep those training wheels on for as long as you need them. Keep learning, keep wobbling, it's okay. And keep finding those moments of pure, unadulterated, not adulting. Because building a meaningful life isn't about finally arriving at some perfect state of adulthood.
It really isn't. It's about the messy, courageous, ongoing journey of showing up, figuring it out as you go, and remembering deep down that youthful spark, that curiosity, that playfulness, that's your superpower.
Yes.
It's not a burden to be shed.
A superpower, I like that.
Yeah. The wisdom of your present self, combined with the wild, audacious dreams of your younger self, that can be an incredibly powerful force in forging a life that's truly, authentically your own.
Thanks for riding along with us today. If this resonated, if you're out there adulting hard but still feeling young at heart and, yeah, maybe a bit overwhelmed sometimes, share this deep dive. Let's normalize the wobble. Let's celebrate the journey.
Yeah, let's do that.
And head over to our social channels and answer this question. What's one adulting glitch you experienced this week that made you laugh? Or maybe just made you realize you're definitely still learning? We'd love to hear it. Until next time we meet in another episode of Tiny Talks Big Ideas podcast, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay curious.